Hello everyone and welcome to a new video dedicated to our beloved Snoopy and the world of Peanuts. Charlie Brown, Shermie, and Patty are the protagonists of this strip published on December 23, 1950. It is a simple, everyday scene, but one that manages to perfectly condense Charles Schulz's humor and characterization of the characters. The theme is a picnic, but what emerges is Charlie Brown's total unawareness of social dynamics. While Shermie and Patty cooperate and contribute concretely to the organization, he seems to miss the importance of bringing something useful, responding with a joke that perfectly embodies his personality, a mixture of naivete, candor, and unintentional comedy. The timing of the joke is perfect, and the exchange between the characters comes across as natural yet brilliant. Shermie and Patty, who in the early years of the Peanuts were often featured in the strips, here play the role of more down-to-earth and rational interlocutors, while Charlie Brown already demonstrates that lovable loser aura that would become his trademark over the decades. Also noteworthy is the way Schulz builds the scene through the evolution of the vignettes. It starts out enthusiastically and collaboratively to arrive at an ending that disorients both the characters and the reader. The simplicity of the drawing and the cleanliness of the narrative contribute to the comic effect of the conclusion. In the first vignette, Charlie Brown proposes a picnic, addressing Patty and Shermie enthusiastically. His face is lit with a smile, and it is clear that he is envisioning an afternoon outdoors, full of fun. His posture is open and welcoming, as if he is trying to engage his friends in his enthusiasm. Patty listens to him smiling, with an expression that suggests interest and complicity, while Charlie Brown appears attentive, leaning slightly forward, a sign of involvement in the conversation. The neutral, empty background helps focus attention exclusively on the characters, eliminating distractions and making the focus on the dialogue more effective. This is a classic example of Schulz's stylistic cleanliness, who from the beginning favored essential settings to enhance expressions and body language. The absence of superfluous details in the background is not a casual choice, but a distinctive feature of his style, capable of enhancing the emotions of the protagonists and making each interaction more direct and incisive. In the second vignette, Patty enthusiastically steps forward and announces that she will bring the cake. Her tone is assertive, and this gesture marks an important moment. The picnic plan takes shape in a concrete way. Patty's proposal is not only a practical contribution, but a signal of cooperation and involvement in the group. Shermie, without hesitation, joins the organization, saying he will bring ice cream. His intervention is quick and decisive, a sign that he has immediately grasped the mechanism of the initiative and wants to contribute without wasting time. At this point, the logic of the picnic is clear. Everyone actively participates by bringing something essential to the success of the event, and everything seems to proceed smoothly. Schulz, with his essential line and narrative skill, manages to make clear the dynamism of the scene through small details, the movement of the characters, the way Patty naturally addresses others, and even the expression of her interlocutors. The arrangement of the characters also changes slightly from the previous vignette. They are walking, as if to emphasize that the organization of the picnic is not just theoretical, but is already becoming a reality. This shift suggests that the group is heading toward the goal, adding a sense of continuity and progression to the scene. Schulz was a master at bringing dynamism to his strips, and here he succeeds in communicating liveliness without the need for grand gestures or exaggerated expressions. A slight change in posture and a few well-placed lines are enough to make it clear that the conversation is active and engaging. In the third vignette, Patty, intrigued, asks Charlie Brown what he will bring. Here we see the first hint of embarrassment in the two characters facing him, as if they are already imagining that his answer might be peculiar. The two children advance confidently, showing a complicity and determination that suggests that they take it for granted that Charlie Brown, too, already has something in mind to bring. Their attitude is laden with expectation and confidence, as if the whole organization is now a formality, free of obstacles. This kind of narrative construction is very typical of the early Peanuts. Schulz precisely doses the comic timing, building to a crescendo that inevitably leads to an unexpected ending. Through essential dialogue and a sequence of seemingly simple actions, the author guides the reader toward a moment of surprise, exploiting the naivete and childlike logic of the characters to create situations that are as ironic as they are realistic. In the fourth vignette, the key moment comes. With extreme confidence, Charlie Brown simply replies, "Me." His face is dead serious, devoid of irony or awareness that his answer is not at all what others expected. It is a perfect gag because it plays on a sharp contrast between expectation and reality, between logic and absurdity. Patty and the other character, probably convinced that Charlie Brown would list a concrete object, are taken aback by his statement, which completely reverses the meaning of the conversation. Her response is a brilliant example of Schultz's humor, which is based on the simplicity and naturalness with which children deal with the world, often defying adult conventions. But there is also a more subtle subtext. Charlie Brown, with his typical candor, sees himself as an integral part of the situation, as if his mere presence is enough to contribute. It is an interpretation of childhood naivete, but also a small portrait of his insecurity and his eternal desire to be accepted by the group. Once again, Schultz shows us how the Peanuts comedy is never an end in itself, but always has a tinge of tenderness and depth. In this strip, Charlie Brown embodies his essence. He longs to be part of the group, but does not always know how to do it. His response, "Me," is funny and reflects a tender but misplaced thought. Not that he doesn't want to participate, but for him, just being there is enough. This theme will recur often in Schultz's strips, showing a world that Charlie Brown struggles to understand, making him irresistibly human. Historically, this strip is interesting for the interaction between Charlie Brown, Shermie, and Patty, characters who were gradually replaced by more iconic figures such as Linus, Lucy, and Schroeder. Shermie represents the model child, while Patty gives way to the more famous Peppermint Patty. This reflects the evolution of the Peanuts, which mirrored Schultz's view of the world of children. The picnic theme recurs in the Peanuts and becomes a classic, with future situations featuring characters such as Lucy and Linus at the center of memorable picnics. Schultz overturned common situations with his subtle humor, as in this 1950s strip. This scene also anticipates Charlie Brown's constant insecurity, always eager to belong but not always finding room among the other children. Although the frustration typical of later strips is not yet present here, his nature as an unintentional outsider can already be sensed. The success of the Peanuts stems from Schultz's ability to make the characters authentic and recognizable. This strip shows how Charlie Brown was destined to become one of the most beloved characters in popular culture.
If you enjoyed yourselves, subscribe to the channel, leave a like, and activate the little bell to stay updated, and see you next, friends.